Hello everyone, welcome to our video. We are Group 5 from the Introduction to Social Science class and are here to present our topic about citizen, urbanization, and environmental and international relations. Before we dive into our topic, I would like to introduce you to our team members, Sadrach, Mahir, myself, Adel, Hani, and Keisha. Without further ado, let's get started. In today's world, the lives of people, the growth of cities, and the health of the environment are deeply connected, and these connections are reshaping how nations interact. Citizens play a vital role in shaping how cities grow and how these challenges are addressed. At the same time, the rapid pace of urbanization is putting enormous pressure on the environment. Issues like air and water pollution, waste management, and the loss of green spaces are not just local problems, but they are also cross borders and demand global solutions. In international relations, these issues bring countries together to find ways to balance human development with environmental protection, whether through agreements to combat climate change, sharing innovative ideas for sustainable cities, or empowering citizens to drive change. The connections between people, urbanization, and the environment remind us that we all share the same planet. Addressing these challenges requires collaboration, creativity, and a shared commitment to building a better future for everyone. Alright, now it's the time for our first topic of our presentation, which is the definition of a citizen. A citizen is a legal individual who belongs to a nation. Citizens have duties and responsibilities, and what they are such as obeying the law, paying taxes, voting for representatives, and participating in community events. The concept of citizen extends back to the 5th to 6th centuries in Athens, regarded as the birthplace of democracy. In Athens, all adult citizens are obligated to participate in government actively. However, this concept denied women, foreigners, and slave citizenship rights, including the ability to vote. But today, contemporary democracies have evolved to allow every one person to vote. Alright, after we've discussed about the definition of citizenship itself, we also have to know the key factors that shapes the citizenship. Alright, so we have 3 parts, which are the key factors of the citizenship, which are legal status, responsibility, and national identity. So let's take a deep look on each of these key factors. First of all, we start with legal status. So the membership of legal status is a citizen, a person who holds citizenship in a particular country. And these are also stand for the citizenship that have rights, including civil rights, which is the freedom of speech, religion, and assembly. And then the second one is the political rights, which means the right to vote and run for public office. Third of all is the social right, which means the citizen has an access to education, healthcare, and social services. So this is the legal status in overall definition, in overall meaning among of all countries. And then we also have to know what are the responsibilities of being a citizen. First of all is obeying the laws. This one requires a citizen and to be expected to obey the laws and regulations of their country. Second of all is the citizenship have a responsibility to pay taxes, which often contribute to the state's revenue via taxation. Lastly, they also have the responsibility for a civic participation, which includes voting, jury duty, and community service. Last but not least, the third key factor of a citizenship is the national identity. The national identity belongs to 2 main factors. First of all is the belonging. Feeling of a belonging implies a sense of belonging to a nation or a group. It can be associated with national identity, culture, and common ideals. Secondly, which is the last one, is the civic engagement, which means a citizen has to participate in the political process and contribute to the betterment of their communities and society as a whole.
Definition of citizenship. Citizenship is the state of being a member of a particular country and having the rights because of it. The primary reasons for getting citizenship include birth within a specific territory, inheritance from a citizen's parents, marriage to a citizen, and a naturalization. The concept of citizenship first arose in towns and city-states of ancient Greece, where it generally applied to property owners but not to women, slaves, or the poorer members of the community. Citizenship was strongly linked to the concepts of liberty and civic involvement. Determination system according to jus soli versus jus sanguinis. According to jus soli, citizenship is acquired by being within the state's territory regardless of parental citizenship. For example, anyone born in Indonesia automatically becomes an Indonesian citizen, while according to jus sanguinis, citizenship is acquired through one's parents regardless of where they are born. For example, if a child is born in Australia, then that child is entitled to Indonesian citizenship because they have an Indonesian parent.
Let's move on to the role of citizen in international relation perspective. First, we have the citizen diplomacy. This involves a wide range of actions and activities that individuals can engage and to strengthen bonds between individual and communities while also furthering public diplomacy objective. This can be categorized as citizen diplomacy project that used by a wide range of groups including corporation, non-governmental organization or NGOs, based institution and educational programs. Here we have the example of ISMA awardees who are tasked with promoting Indonesian culture, values, and fostering people-to-people connections. Second, we have the engagement in global issues. Citizens play a big role in engaging in the global issues such as climate change, human rights, and social justice. This movement can make a difference by moving public opinion and pressuring governments to take action on these critical matters. For instance, we have a Swedish activist Greta Thunberg who speak during activist protests against climate change back in 2018. Third, we have the participation in foreign policy. This has evolved significantly in democracies, allowing citizens to play a more active role in shaping diplomatic strategies. This shift enables individuals to engage in discussion that influence foreign policy decisions, leading to more representative governments. And there are two primary perspectives that I will tell you. The first is top-down cueing perspective, suggests that citizens often rely on cues from political elites, trusting for their guidance on foreign matters. Second, the dynamic interplay perspective argues that citizens are informed about both domestic and international issues and can influence foreign policy, especially when the elite opinions diverge or when specific issues resonate with the public. And here I give you an example of a protest organized by civil society groups highlighted concern related to the trade liberation and labor rights during the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit that was held in 2013 in Bali. Next up, we have the soft power enhancements. We might know that South Korea holds the power of Korean Hallyu or Korean Wave and have big influence in the world right now. Like for example, their food, culture, entertainment, and etc. And that is the meaning of soft power that is based on ability to influence and attract others, hence why it must be appealing and alluring to the target. And citizen contributes to a country's soft power by promoting its culture and values through personal interaction with people from other countries that can boost the country's international image and create a goodwill. Lastly, we have the technological influence. Technological influence has significantly transformed the role of citizens in international relations, particularly through digital transformation. By enhancing their digital skills, individuals can improve civic engagement and contribute meaningfully to discussion on foreign policy and environmental matters. This collective effort not only empowers citizens but also support democratic values by enhance global cooperation on pressing issues like the climate change and social justice. Now we'll tell you the role of citizenship in international relation perspective. First, we have the legal status and rights. Citizenship has a legal position for being a member of a state, which can have rights and duties. This impacts citizens to interact with their government and also international community. Second, we have the global citizenship. This concept of citizenship is beyond national borders, emphasizing shared duties to the people of the world. It can be like to encourage people to consider global issues such as climate change, human rights, social justice, etc. Citizens help to tackle poverty and injustice by participating in initiatives that raise awareness and finance. And last, we have the multiple citizenship. This refers to individuals who hold nationality in more than one country, similarly challenging traditional notions of national allegiance and sovereignty. The presence of multiple citizenship raises important questions about their identity, rights, and responsibility in a globalized world, highlighting the need for nuanced approaches for citizenship that consider the complexities of modern international dynamics. Understanding these complexities is essential for navigating the evolving landscape of global citizenship and its application for foreign policy and also international cooperation.
Human populations have tended to increase over time. As more people were born, small groups of people found reasons to gather and form groups. The world's economies have become more industrialized and improved over the past few decades, and this resulted in many people moving to larger cities. Urbanization is a process of a large number of people who move from rural areas to urban centers. This process not only involves population growth in a city, but also leads to the transformation of land for residential, commercial, industrial, and transportation purposes. The main cause of this phenomenon is people moving out in search of better employment opportunities, living conditions, and an environment that seems to provide them. And what is the Role of urbanization in international relations. Well, cities are a new group of performers who are receiving more attention. Urbanization makes cities more important players in global governance, and it has a big impact on international relations. Number one is forming into networks. Cities found that acting in formal connection with other cities both inside and outside of national elite lines increased their voices and power. It is a pervasive phenomenon that has altered and broadened the scope of global affairs. Number two is allying with international organization. Cities' greater participation and impact at the international level have been enhanced by a tight and supportive connection with specific international organizations such as the World Bank, the World Health Organization, the European Union, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the UN Center for Human Settlements, and the International Monetary Fund. Cities have a distinct advantage in accomplishing their sustainable development objective as acknowledged by international organizations. Refocusing on cities as the object of international norms is a more general concept that was sparked by a relationship between cities and international organizations. Number three is gaining recognition in multilateral agendas. Cities and city networks are significant global players with critical viewpoints, priceless experience, and practical ideas to offer in discussion of international policies. Cities were equally successful in persuading foreign policymakers of their importance in international policy discussion pertaining to migration. They are now asserting their rights to participate as important partners and stakeholders in crafting international policy due to their growing self-assurance, success, and influence. While the last one is adopting and implementing global law. In addition to utilizing the language of international law, cities and city networks are establishing joint declaration, covenants, commitments, action, and policy plans, and also set statements that resemble and function similarly to international legal agreements. These legally significant and law-like papers are becoming more prevalent and significant. For example, to demonstrate their commitment to tackling growing inequality, mayors from all across the world, for instance, signed the New York Proposal for Inclusive Growth in Cities in March 2016. All of the mayors who signed the proposal committed to promoting an inclusive growth agenda in their cities, exchanging best practices and assisting in the development of a policy roadmap aimed at achieving more equitable growth in cities across the globe. There are issues with this non-binding legal framework since they are voluntary and unenforceable. It depends on the strength of reputation, self-reporting, and persuasion. Globally, cities have an impact on the activities of a nation, private industry, international organizations, civil society organizations, and other cities or city networks. The ability of cities to draw in people, capital, and goods from around the globe is a sign of their dominance. And why is people moving to cities? Why does urbanization happen? First, there is modernization, and then centralization of education, culture, and government, the industrialization of economies, employment opportunities, infrastructure and amenities, and also centralization of commerce. And what is urbanization's impact on environmental system? Well, there is deforestation and habitat loss that can change how organisms interact and reduce species numbers, ranges, and diversity. Then there is the development of life cycles and characteristics that support species' ability to endure and procreate in disturbed or modified environments. Then there is the spreading of illness due to the densely populated area that affects the accessibility and volume of transit, which can spread diseases quickly within the groups and between groups. And the last one is the increase of regional temperatures because of the amount of sunlight that is absorbed in metropolitan areas is increased by the use of asphalt and other dark-colored materials, resulting in a phenomenon called urban heat islands.
So, the definition of environmental refers to anything related to the natural conditions in which living organisms, including humans, plants, and animals. So, if we look back to environment definition, it can be broadly defined as a system that includes all living, biotic, and non-abiotic elements that affect life. The biotic components consist of flora and fauna, which the abiotic components include water, air, sunlight, soil, and climate. These definitions highlight the interconnectedness of various elements that contribute to the survival and development of organisms. It means each species within an ecosystem plays a specific role contributing to the overall health and functionality of the system. So, in an ecological systems, environment factors are crucial for sustaining life. The health of ecosystems directly impacts humans' well-being and quality of life. The intricate relationship between ecosystems and human health underscores the importance of maintaining health environments for both ecological balance and public health. Ecosystems provide essential needs that are vital for human survival and quality of life. In instance, healthy forests and oceans are critical for providing food source, while freshwater ecosystems support drinking water supplies. Ecosystems are also charged to regulate climate, food, floods, disease, and water quality for the sake of improving quality of life. So, the concept of environmental in IR encompasses a broad spectrum of issues that related to the national environment impact on global politics and corporations. This is highlight the intricate connection between ecological concerns and global politics. As environmental challenges increasingly transcends national boundaries, they have become central to diplomatic efforts, international cooperations, and policy making. Global warming is a prime example of an environmental issues that cannot be addressed by any single nation alone. The accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere affects weather patterns globally, leading to the extreme weather events that impact all countries. This necessitates international agreements like the Paris Agreements, where nation commits to reducing emission collaboratively. Countries often engage in environmental diplomacy to address shared ecological concerns. For instance, discussion at forums like the United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP, facilitate dialogue among nations on climate policies and commitment. Agreements such as a Montreal Protocol, which successfully phased out substance depleting the ozone layer. This protocol shows how international cooperation can make an impact that leads to significant environmental improvement. The protocol's success is a testament in how countries can unite for a common cause that benefits global health and safety. So we begin to the next slide, where is the role of environmental in international relation. So the first is the transnational environmental challenges. So environmental problems such as climate change, deforestation, and pollution do not respect national borders. These challenges require coordinated response from multiple nations, making IR essential for effective management. For instance, multilateral agreements like the Paris Agreement illustrate how countries collaborate to address environmental concerns, reflecting diplomacy's critical role in fostering global sustainability and managing shared resources. The next one is influence on geopolitical dynamics. So there's the intersection of environmental issues and IR that can lead to both new alliance and tension amongst nations. As countries face environmental degradation, they may find common ground in addressing shared threats or may compete for dwindling resources, which can exacerbate geopolitical tensions. The management of natural resources is increasingly viewed as a global responsibility, highlighting the need for cooperative governance framework that transcends traditional state-centric approaches. The next one is security implication. We also know that environmental issues are also linked to security concern. That, as we can know, that the UN Security Council has recognized climate change as a potential threat to peace and stability, indicating that environmental degradation can lead to resource conflict and humanitarian crisis. This recognition has prompted discussion at high-level forums such as the G20 and the World Economic Forum, where the leaders address the implication of environmental challenges on global security. And the last one is the theoretical perspective in IR. So, as we can know that the study of IR has evolved to incorporate environmental issue more prominently. Traditional theory like realisms and liberalism, institutionalism have begun to adapt their frameworks to account for environmental governance. Realisms often views that environmental issue through the lens of conflict over scarce resource, while liberal institutionalisms emphasize cooperation through international treaties and organization. This shift reflects a broader understanding that environmental issues are not merely technical challenges, but are deeply intertwined with political, economic, and social dynamics. So, the conclusion is the interaction between citizens, urbanization, and environmental issues is critical in defining international relations today. As people migrate to cities in search of greater opportunities, metropolitan areas become hubs for cultural exchange and economic progress. But they also face challenges like air pollution and resource depletion that necessitate global collaborations. Citizens have an important role in tackling these issues by influencing local legislations and participating in global conversations about sustainable development. The rise of global citizenship encouraged people to fight for policies that match their ideals while using technologies to engage in global debates. Finally, public participation in urbanization and environmental activity is critical for developing collaborative ways in international relations and achieving a sustainable future for all.
That brings us to the end of our presentation on the topic of citizen, urbanization, and environmental and international relation perspective. Hope this video has helped you gain a deeper understanding of these topics. If you have any question or comments, please feel free to share them below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We acknowledge that there's always more to explore, and we appreciate your understanding if we miss any key point. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, take care!